Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Shea Stadium for the game of the season. It has to be said, the £250,000 game in the Kingston Press Championship. Halifax against the Featherstone Rovers. Quick rundown of the two teams for you. First of all, starting with Halifax, they have Ryan Fieldhouse at fullback. A three-quarter line of number 25, Gareth Potts. Number 16, Danny Cowling. Number 3, their goal kicker for the day, I fancy, will be Steve Tyrer. And a player well known to Rovers, number 21, will be Tommy Saxton. In the half-backs for Halifax, number 6 is Scott Morell and number 7, Simon Brown. In the front row for Fax, two former Rovers players, in number 8, Tony Tonks, and number 9, Ben Kay, alongside number 10, Luke Ambler. In the second row for Halifax, number 13 is Luke Adamson, and number 27 is Ross Devorty. And the loose forward is number 12, Andy Braychek. On the bench for Halifax, number 14 is Paul Mennell. Number 18, Ben Johnston. Number 23 is Callum Casey. And number 28 is Jack Spencer. 3 changes to the starting lineup for Rovers. From last time out against Lee, Rovers line up at full back with number 1 is Ian Hardman. In the three quarters, number 2 is Will Sharp. Number 3 is Greg Worthington. In for Sam Smeaton comes number 36, Ben Blackmore. And number 35 is Jason Crooks. In the half-backs for Rovers, number 23 is Andy Kane. And number 7 is Gareth Moore. In the forwards for Rovers, number 8, Steve Crossley, and number 9 is Andy Ellis. And a surprise in the front row for Rovers sees the introduction of number 6, Jack Bussey, who comes in for Matt James, who drops to the bench. Making his first start for Rovers this afternoon is in the second row is number 42, Chris Anakin, who comes in for the injured Kyle Trout, and he'll be alongside number 31, Sean Pick. And the loose forward for Rovers, number 11, is James Lockwood. A completely different bench to what turned out last week at Lee. Seat number 13, Matt James. Number 10 is Keegan Hurst. Number 16 is Andy Bostock. And on making a start for Rovers, on the bench for Rovers, is number 30 is Luke Teasdale. Today's match referee is George Stokes. So a massive match here in store. Halifax leapfrogged Rovers to go into second place last week, coming out victorious by 3 points over Crusaders in a performance that disappointed Carl Harrison, only coming out on top by 3 points when they won down at Crusaders by 20 points to 17. Rovers coming into this game on the back of a very disappointing result at Lee, when of course they went down by 48 points to 18. Joe, your thoughts on this match coming up, please?
Well, without a doubt, Ben, it's got to be the biggest game of the season today. From a Halifax point of view, you'd be looking at it and you'd be thinking, they say a point above Rovers in the table, and Rovers suffered their highest defeat last week against Lee. If you're a Rovers fan though, like you and me, then you're looking at it and you're thinking, we've already beaten Halifax once this season, and they struggled last week against the North Wales Crusaders side, which sits in the relegation zone. Our bench is looking very strong today. We've got plenty of bulk there, which I think we lacked last week, particularly after the injuries to Trout and Dale. And in patches last week, we did show that we had the ability to score tries. I think today's going to be a big game on defence though, as there'll be times when we have to hold out on a line, which we couldn't do last week, and that'll be the deciding factor in today's game.
Certainly will. It's a different proposition to Lee. Lee have been by far the standout team in the league this year. So yes, it'll be a tough match for Rovers, but will it be as tough as last week?
I think last week was very tough, as we made it very tough. Lee are a side that are going to be consistent and they'll punish you if you let them. Today will be the same. Halifax are a quality side. They've improved throughout the season. Yes, they had a bit of a shaky game last week, but we need to play to our strengths and we need to play to our full potential, and then we'll win today's game. If we don't, Halifax will punish us. This is ours for the taking.
Indeed it is. It'll be interesting to hear the thoughts of Andy Hay on today's match. And now here are those thoughts from Andy Hay. Andy, your thoughts on today's match, please.
Big game, very big game. Been looking forward to it all week since we got over the disappointments at Lee, and we've trained well Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and all the boys are ready for it. Can you give us any team news on today's match? We're down to 19 players at the minute, so everybody we've got's almost playing. We've got young Luke Teasdale's going to come off the bench for us today and fill in at 9 at some point. We've brought Keegan Hurst back in onto the bench, and pretty much the same backline as last week, apart from Sam Smeaton drops out and Ben Blackmore comes in.
And Chris Anakin, I think it's his first start for Rovers. What thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought Chris he's been playing well. He's very aggressive. He runs the ball well, and it's probably what we need today. So we've put him on there to match the firepower of Halifax early in the game, and we'll see how he goes. But yeah, it's his sort of his debut in the starting pack for Featherstone since he's been here. Yeah.
And Jack Bussey starting at 10 as well.
Yeah, Jack Bussey I thought played very well last week. He was probably one of the standout players. Him and Chris I thought had a real good game, and Gaz Moore played well, so I think Jack's deserved his starting spot. He's been in and out of the team the last couple of weeks, and you put a marker down last week, and that's all you can ask.
Are we going to see Chris Anakin rotating with Jack Bussey, so they rotate between prop and second row?
Yeah, possibly. We've got people off the bench as well, but we're short of back rows at the minute. So Kyle Trout's obviously not in; he'll miss out this week due to injury. So we've got to do what we do.
Finally, Andy, just a quick question. A lot of rumours circulating about the Jamie Rooney, whether he's still at the club or not. Can you give us any thoughts on that?
He's off this week. He's been given some time off, so he's still part of the club. We just had to deal with something this week with him, which hopefully he'll be back in training next week.
Andy, thanks. All the best for the match.
No worries. Thank you.
Afternoon, everybody. So, interesting thoughts of Andy Hay there. If you're listening to the stream, the Andy Hay interview before the match is on the DVD, should you wish to watch it back on the DVD. I've got young Joe sat with me, just been discussing this match with Joe. It's a huge game. It's a must-win game for both teams by a long way, Joe.
Must-win game, definitely. We've all thought that last week's game was must-win, but after losing there and failing to get a bonus point makes this one even bigger. It's two sides. There's no one closer in the league than us two. We've drawn first blood at home against Halifax. They now face us on home turf. They're ahead of us in the league. It's one hell of a grudge match and a lot at stake.
Indeed there is. I don't think the home match will have any bearing on this one at all. Obviously Rovers then under the stewardship as John Bastian. It was a good result for Rovers against Halifax at home by a long way. The performance was a good performance after the disappointment of the match at Dewsbury the week before, the first game of the year. Can Rovers repeat that? A disappointing result last week and going into a Halifax game again?
Well, in both cases the teams have changed a lot. Us personnel wise, and Halifax have come into quite some form. Even though they had a bit of a shaky performance last week against North Wales Crusaders, they showed that resilience and they were able to get the result. Rovers, in comparison, were unable to do anything of the sort against Lee and didn't even walk away with a bonus point, making this game far more important than it could have been. Yes, we come out of a bad result. Yes, they come out of a bad performance. But it's all about who wants it more going out onto the field today. Both teams with big backs. Who's going to run it in harder?
Indeed, how important is not just the defeat at Lee last week, but the fact Rovers didn't get the bonus point. That could be crucial, Joe.
Could be crucial in terms of points, but in terms of performance, you've got to remember, yes, we were well out of it, but it was a high-scoring game. We scored some nice tries. There was one where Gaz Moore went through the line. It was a beautiful piece of skill, and if we see more of that today, there's no reason why we can't win this. We were good in patches. We need to see more of those patches stretched out throughout the game.
Indeed we do, and here come your Featherstone Rovers in their away strip of purple. It looks like Rovers look to be lining up across the middle of the field, so it looks like Halifax will be getting first use of the ball. And here come the Halifax team now, led out by captain Scott Morrell. And by Hallie Cat. A fantastic atmosphere here at the Shea Stadium. This is going to be an absolute cracker. And Halifax are getting first use of the ball. As I've just been deafened by the timekeeper telling the referee that he's there. I think I've gone deaf in one ear. So Halifax getting first use of the ball. Holding on to your seats, folks, you're in for a classic now. Halifax against the Featherstone Rovers. And just to add to the tension, the ball falls off the kicking tee. And there is the kick-off from Gaz Morgan, taken by the Halifax team, and here comes the first drive now. How important is discipline today, Joe, as well?
Well, we saw how crucial discipline was last week. We was giving up lots of field position penalties deep into Lee's half, allowing them to get to our end of the field where they were going through the line at will.
Indeed they were. Ben Kay from Matson half back there, feeds Simon Brown. And Halifax just outside their own 20 now. And this is a first set for the Halifax. It's an early kick over the top. It bounces awkwardly, and Jason Crooks is just able to pick it up, only just on his own 40. And here comes Rovers' first set now with Will Sharp. Good first set for Halifax. They got the kick in early, but they didn't make many yards. And here come Rovers now with Jack Bussey in the second row, in the front row, today. An interesting choice, but we're seeing a lot of work from Jack Bussey. Crossley to Moore to Lockwood. Moore looked to be taken out off the ball there after the pass had gone. Referee happy enough though. And here goes Chris Anakin. Rovers were looking for a big game from Chris Anakin today. His first start, he'll be wanting to impress Andy Hay as well. Here's a kick from Kane. It's a high one towards Saxton. He's taken that in the field of play. He's claiming he was in his in-goal area, and the bomb was diffused. Mr. Stokes says no, you are in the field of play and step back. It's going to be a dropout. A great first set for Rovers, Joe.
Fantastic first set from the Rovers. It appears James Lockwood's in fact out here at second row, and down the middle we've got Jack Bussey, Chris Anakin and Steve Crossley, and they brought it up well down the middle, and a good kick in behind, a good chase. We earn the ball back, we've got another set.
Indeed we have, and here is that set now. It's Steve Crossley gets Rovers back into the 40. Here's Anakin again, Andy Kane now to Gaz Moore. Moore to Worthington. Rovers 25 metres out, 10 metres in from touch on the left hand side. Here's James Lockwood now, takes that ball in, gets Rovers up to the 20. Tackles in hand, Rovers on the 20 metre line now. Kay to Moore. Here's Chris Anakin again. Gets Rovers up to the 10 now, centre field. This is the last tackle, said Mr. Stokes. Ellis. Andy Kane. Hardman. Rovers are over. What a start for Featherstone Rovers. What a superb move. What just the start that Rovers wanted. The ball worked out to the right hand side. And Rovers over in that corner. I think it's Jason Crooks who got the touchdown, as Joe nods away at the side of me. A great start for Rovers. From the first attack, they're forced to drop out. Tommy Saxton disputed it, but Rovers, the referee gave the dropout. Rovers worked their way back upfield, and on the last tackle, the ball worked out to the right hand side. And Rovers indeed over in the corner with Jason Crooks. First blood Rovers, Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 4.
There we are, we saw a big difference from last week's game. We suffered, we've not had much possession early doors there, but this time we got a repeat set early on. We were able to work our way into their half, And then on the final play, we didn't need to kick because we were deep enough. We had the field position, we brought it wide, and Jason Cooks was able to get over in the corner. Ian Hardman there, unmarked, coming out round the back again as that extra man from fullback, like we know he can. Tell you what, Jason Cooks has really come on in these past few weeks, and he's showing his finishing ability, something that quite rivals Will Sharp. If he had another full season with us next year, I don't know whether he'd be up there with him in the scoring charts.
Indeed, and the kick has been missed by Gareth Moore. Kicking today, I fancy, may well be crucial. So the goal not converted. It's Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 4. First blood to the Rovers. And the Rovers fans in fan voice away to our right hand side. And here's the kick-off from Halifax. It's Gareth Moore underneath it. Finds Chris Anakin on the charge. He looks up for it today on his first start for Rovers, does Anakin. Rovers look up for this today. Obviously they want to set a few records straight after last week. Here's Blackmore. His first start back for Rovers since injury. Obviously has been on the bench as well. Bussey will play that ball to Ellis. Here's Crossley now. Rovers have got up to their own 40. It's an early kick from Andy Kane out to the back of the play of the ball. It's a poor kick though, and it's taken by Gareth Potts. And so Halifax then will restart possession 25 metres out centre field. Trying to work the way forward now, just short of the 40. Ben Kay moves the ball into the left hand side. Halifax fans not happy with something there. And here is Luke Adamson on halfway for Halifax. 10 metres in from touch. Now it's Ryan Fieldhouse, the ball's worked out. Here's Tommy Saxton, that familiar dancing style that Rovers should know so very well, but well wrapped up in the end by the Rovers defence. That was a loose pass, it was low pass, it was difficult to take, and that is a good kick by Simon Brown. And Halifax have forced a mistake. Rovers took that ball but lost the ball in the tackle. And one thing Rovers can't afford to do today, Joe, is turn up possession in our own 20.
No, we certainly can't. We saw the kick there from Andy Kane being taken on the full, and they ran it up well. I'm not a big fan of the halfback going into acting half and then kicking from the ground. Never seems to work too well. The kick never gets the distance, and the placement isn't as simple. Good defensive effort though, but then ruined by losing the ball on the first tackle. You gotta get that though with a good kick chase from Halifax, and now they have a chance to press the Rovers line.
Indeed to do, and press the line they are. That's a good tackle there by Greg Worthington on Danny Cowley. Ben Kay drops that ball off to Tony Tonks. They'll be looking for big matches today, Ben Kay and Tony Tonks. And Tony Tonks wins another penalty for interference, says George Stokes. Interesting choice in the second half. Both teams will be attacking their own fans. Here come Halifax now though. And they threw a gap. What a tackle! What a fantastic tackle. I thought they were over them to Andy Braycheck. It was Will Sharp with a try-saving tackle, and it was a real try-saving tackle there. Here come Halifax though, still attacking that 10-metre line. It's Luke Ambler. Good defence from Rovers so far on this set. Ben Kay finds Tony Tonks again. Still going Tony Tonks, 3 or 4 players in the tackle. Able to keep him out. This is the last tackle. Halifax with the noses on Featherstone's line. Brown with a ding through. That's well taken by Worthington. And Rovers have escaped. Joe, a try-saving tackle by Will Sharp.
Yeah, try-saving tackle there from Will Sharp. My heart skipped a beat, but what a fantastic tackle it was as we bring it up well here. There was a danger there. We gave away a repeat set with penalty. We said discipline would be huge, but not if you got put on a line defence like that. Phenomenal from the Rovers.
It certainly was. Here's Jack Bussey now. Rovers on halfway as the rain starts teeming down here at Halifax. It was sunny 10 minutes before kick-off, and now we've got a downpour. That's a kick over the top by Rovers. It bounces, and Gareth Potts has to run it back. Run it back he does. He gets to the 10. Oh my word, the heavens have opened. Fieldhouse finds Tommy Saxton. Here's Tony Tonks now. The ball's come loose. Rovers have come up with the ball again. Rovers have 6 tackles on the Halifax 20. Andy Ellis finds Jack Bussey. Shrugs away from one, but well wrapped up by the next 2. Rovers 5 tackles on the Halifax 20 now. Crossley to Moore. Andy Kane. Will Sharp. That's a good tackle as well by Halifax. Kane again now. Chris Anakin. Andy Ellis goes himself. Well wrapped up though. Sean Pick was in attendance. Andy Kane shows it once, finds more. Here's Will Sharp. Greg Worthington's well wrapped up there. Will Sharp in attacks in half-back. This is the last tackle. Here's Moore with a dink. That's well taken. Good positioning by Ryan Fieldhouse. And well taken there, Joe. A good set for Rovers.
Yeah, good attacking set from the Rovers, and we've got the opportunity to pin Halifax back on their line here. Will Sharp, we've noticed, is in at full-back, and many people have been asking for him to get on the ball more. Perhaps this is how he's shown his abilities coming round the outside, adding that extra man. He certainly adds a fluidity to the Rovers attack.
It certainly is doing. Will Sharp has dropped in at full-back, so Hardman I think is in the centres. Hardman is in at right centre, and Blackmore has gone to the left wing. As here comes Tony Tonks again. Halifax 25 metres out from their own line. And it's an early kick. It's a flat kick. It's easily enough taken by Jason Crooks. Crooks goes for the gap. Here's Ian Hardman again now. Ellis to Blackmore. Blackmore gets Rovers up to the Halifax 40 now. Ellis to Andy Kane. Finds Moore. Here's Will Sharp. Good defence though by Halifax. Scott Morrell in defence there. Here goes Lockwood. Gets Rovers 12 metres out. 10 metres to the left of the uprights. Ellis finds Andy Kane. Kane with a kick towards the corner. Jason Crooks. Crooks is over again, is he? He is. It's going to be given. Oh, what an effort from Jason Crooks. A fantastic effort. It looked impossible for him to get that ball down. A kick from Andy Kane. Not across by Ian Hardman into the hands of Jason Crooks. Rovers are in control, folks. 13 minutes on the clock. It's Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 10. Joseph, what do you think to that one then?
What a fantastic finish from Jason Crooks. Yet again, he's already on for his hat-trick now. Great kick in, judging the conditions night in it, sweat, the rain siloing down, and Andy Kane put it up high and wide. Ian Hardman leaped the highest and was able to tap it out to his wingman, who was more than grateful to take his chance and score there in the corner. Scarsmore now lines up another difficult kick, looking to extend the lead even further.
Indeed he is, as here is his conversion attempt from Gareth Moore now. Tight to that right hand touchline. It is on the correct side. Gasmore, a left-footed kicker. Rovers fans in fine voice, and here's the attempt. Again, it's gone to the side of the posts. No conversion again to the second try. But Rovers are in control, folks. Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 8. Just how important could those two missed goals be?
Well, we expected a tight game today, and without a doubt Halifax are going to come back into this game, so it could well be. Out wide though, of course, and it's blowing a gale out there, so we can't expect too much from Gasmore. Just keep them at their end of the field though, and if the play's down there, they can't score.
Indeed they can't, and here goes Chris Anakin again. He's revelling in his first start for Rovers. He looks really fired up. As Rovers working out from their own 20. Ellis points, finds Steve Crossler with the drive. Gets Rovers up to the 40 now. Referee pulling the Halifax team back. Here's Bussey. One of the advantages having Jack Bussey, that ball's come loose, it's stolen. One of the advantages to having Jack Bussey at prop forward is a ball playing prop forward. You know, he can move the ball out wide as well as take the ball in, Joe.
He's a ball playing prop forward, and Steve Crossley also useful with his hands, so you've got the options to tip on there, and with us having 3 forwards in the front row now, because we're using the loose forward as another front rower, there's plenty of men, plenty of options there, and Halifax have to seal up those gaps. Then by stacking the men in, there's going to be spaces out wide where we're dangerous.
Indeed we are. We've shown that twice already this afternoon. Here's Lockwood. Good defence by Halifax on that occasion. As Andy Ellis moves to the left, it's Andy Kane now. Kane finds Greg Worthington. Ellis waits. Here's Moore. Shows it twice. Finds Andy Kane. Kane finds Will Sharp again, chiming in from fullback. Rovers attack down that side again. It's Andy Kane. Rovers are over again. Oh my word! Where does this start come from for Featherstone Rovers? This is superb rugby league. It was Sean Pick who got over. Oh, what a superb start for Rovers. 15 minutes on the clock. It's Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 12.
Yeah, Sean Pick with the try there. He's always an option runner near the line and gets given the ball, and he took the opportunity and found his way over, taking the lead even further now. What a start by the Rovers, what a difference to last week. Gasmore now lining up the kick. Let's hope he can send this one over and send it even further. Wonder how the Halifax team are feeling at the moment. Completely demoralised, no doubt. After the way they came back against North Wales last week, we still need to be wary.
Indeed we do, and the goal is kicked by Gasmore. So 17 minutes on the clock. Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 14. Rovers fans in fine voice away to our right hand side as the kick-off is again taken by Rovers. Here comes Chris Anakin again. Andy Hay will be so pleased with this start. Such a contrast to the start Rovers had last week, Joe. Basically Rovers doing to Halifax what Lee did to Rovers last week.
Very much doing to Halifax what Lee did to us last week. The difference of course being there's not been too many mistakes from Halifax. Featherstone Rovers have just played good rugby, and we've taken our chances when we've been in the attacking third, finishing with an ability that we didn't show last week, having that cutting edge.
Certainly are showing that cutting edge of Rovers, and here they come again. This is a better defensive set from Halifax, pinning Rovers back in their own 40. That's the last tackle. Ellison finds Andy Kane. Kane with a kick downfield. It's going to be fielded by Fieldhouse, who picks that ball up and is able to run that ball back. Halifax had the ball in hand for probably the first time in about 5 minutes. Let's see what they can do with it now then, as Scott Morell attacks in half-back. Finds Gareth Potts. Here goes Tommy Saxton. Ben Kay moves that ball inside. Here's Luke Ambler. Managed to shrug off two, he is still going. As Jack Spencer is on for Halifax. As he's come on for Tony Tonks. Ben Kay trots into acting halfback on this set. And he's on the 40, he's not in the 40, so that's a good kick down, which Will Sharp well positioned to take. And returns that ball back well. It's a great return by Will Sharp. Still going, Will Sharp. He made 30 metres on that return. And a penalty as well. That is fantastic, Joe. A 30-metre return from a kick and a penalty.
There we are, already reaping the benefits of Will Sharp being at fullback, bringing it up with a great return there, and they can't handle him, so they give away the penalty. Tonka's already had enough, we see. Props banging into him so much. And with more men to come on already, we've got plenty of bulk, like we've said today. We've got to keep hammering at this Halifax side, and they can't handle it at the moment.
They certainly can't, and Rovers well in the ascendancy at the minute. Here's more to Jack Bussey. Push back well, that's better defence there by Halifax. Ellis though. Chris Anakin with his unique running style. It's so easy to identify him. It's a unique but effective as Ellis goes from acting halfback. Rovers are up to the 10 already. Moore finds Andy Kane again, shows it once, moves the ball out wide. It's Sean Pick. Hardman. Crooks has got his hat-trick! Oh! Jason Crooks has got a hat-trick inside 20 minutes. It was easy again. The ball moved out to that right-hand side. The pass from the centre Hardman out to Crooks, able to reach over and get the ball down. Rovers are well and truly in control, folks. Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 18.
Jason Crooks there going over for a first half hat-trick. We saw again the benefits of his hammering down the middle and then being able to move the ball out wide, where as they've had to stack in the spaces, and we're able to reap the benefit with our outside backs, which have been phenomenal all season. Now we've got more players entering the field. We've got Matt James coming on, he's got to bang it into more. I'm telling you, the strength this side's showing, them already making substitutions. They're going to suffer big time.
Yeah, Matt James is coming on and Jack Bussey is coming off, as Halifax also prepared to make two changes. We're going to see Paul Mennell and Ben Johnston for Halifax. Halifax looks shell-shocked. Halicat, the mascot, looks on in disbelief. He can't quite believe what's happening either, as here's Gareth Moore's conversion attempt again. This time he's kicked it. The first couple of misses were range finders. He's found his range this time. Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 20. Joe Grovers, just keep doing what you're doing, surely.
Yeah, definitely keep doing what we're doing. As it stands at the moment, of course, we're denying Halifax a bonus point.
And that is massive. If Rovers can keep that going and deny Halifax the bonus point, they'll get second spot back. As Blackmore takes that kick-off. Trying to steal an extra couple of yards. As here's Lockwood now. Here goes Matt James for his first drive. Ellis again now. It's Ben Kay has come off. Ben Kay and Simon Brown have come off. Interesting that Halifax have removed one of their big playmakers. Simon Brown has come off early, Joe.
Yeah, Simon Brown's clearly not been as effective as they'd like so far, and they need to grab more of a stranglehold on the game. 20 points behind, you've got to start trying something new, because whatever you're doing at the moment clearly isn't working.
Indeed it isn't, and here is Tommy Saxton. Plays the ball to Mennell. And the ball is worked out there to Jack Spencer. Mennell again. And here's the second rower, or the loose horse, sorry, Andy Braychak, wearing number 12. Halifax inside the Rovers half now. Here's the kick. Blackmore just doesn't need to do anything, just let that one run dead. Calm things down. Which is what he's done on that occasion. Rovers in control. They don't need to force the play. As the rain teams down again here at Halifax. Just steadying things, steadying the shoot there, Ben Blackmore. And Rovers will get head and feed on this scrum on their own 10-metre line. And so Rovers, and it's Will Sharp again. He's had a blinding start as well. If it wasn't for the fact Crooks has scored a hat-trick, Will Sharp for me so far is Rovers player of the match. But you can't argue with a hat-trick in 18 minutes. Here is Andy Ellis now to Crossley. Rovers on their own 40, centre field. Ellis finds Chris Anakin. Anakin gets Rovers up to halfway, and that's the last. A better defensive set for the Halifax team there. House's last tackle for Rovers, it's Moore. That's a deep kick, taken well by Fieldhouse on his own try line. What's the chase like? It's a good chase. Rovers able to pen him back, pushing him towards the try line. And here are Halifax penned in their own 20 at the minute. Mennell. And that's a mistake again. It's going to be a knock-on on the 20. Halifax are rattled, Joe. They really are.
It's hard not to be rattled when people are running at you like Featherstone have been doing today. We see Ben Johnston's entered the field for Simon Brown, sorry. And he was particularly effective in the home leg against Halifax when we played them early in the season, but they're not getting up our end of the field because we're coming up at them with such line speed and we're controlling the play of the ball well. It's admirable to watch at the moment.
It's great to watch this at the moment. Rovers fans are loving this one. And another 6 tackles on the 20. Here's Greg Worthington now. Can Rovers rub even more salt in the wounds and stretch that lead out even further? It's Steve Crossley. That's better defence though, pushed back well. Ellis to Moore. Moore shows it and goes himself. Well wrapped up on that occasion though, as Andy Ellis moves in. Here's Lockwood. Takes that ball in. Rovers 5 metres away. Andy Kane. Here's Matt James on the charge. That's the last tackle. Are we going to see the same again? It's a dink. Oh, Rovers force a repeat set again. It was a great kick through from Andy Kane. Jason Crooks was chasing it and he was just out of his reach, and it was hacked dead by Halifax, and once again Rovers forced a repeat set, Joe.
Yeah, deadly little kick in behind there from Andy Kane for a gap that just didn't appear to be there, but fantastic chase on the outside, and once again Halifax are worried, putting it out behind, and a brilliant return here from Ben Blackmore.
Indeed it is. Rovers start this set 30 metres out. Worthington, that's in half-back, finds Gaz Moore. Tries to skip inside, but well wrapped up by Luke Adamson. Ellis. Chris Anakin on the charge. That ball's come loose, it's a knock on. I have to say, I think that's Rovers' first mistake. The ball came loose in the tackle for Chris Anakin as he tried to play it. Disappointing end to that set. Rovers just need to keep their heads up, don't keep doing what they're doing, Joe.
Disappointing end to the set, yes, but we've got Halifax in a good area here. We can still look to pin them back. If we kicked and chased and got them pinned down at this point, I'd be happy with that set. So it's a reasonable end.
It is indeed, and Rovers now defensive set. Scott Merrill not happy with something. Berating his Halifax teammates who won for something there. Didn't see what it was. He is now in half-back and moves the ball out to that left-hand side. It's Ross Devoti. Mennell attacks in half-back. Jack Spencer gets Halifax just short onto halfway now. That's the last tackle for Rovers. What's the kick option for Halifax? Mennell moves the ball to the left. It's a dink over the top. Will Sharp well positioned to take that. And here goes Will Sharp going the only way he knows how to go. Makes about 15 metres. And here's Jason Crooks now. Will Sharp again. 2 drives out of 3 for Will Sharp. And Rovers just about 35 metres out. Keegan Hurst has come on for Rovers. And Chris Anakin has gone on for a well-earned breather. As Andy Ellis searches that left-hand side. Lockwood's away. It's got Worthington. Worthington to Moore. To Andy Kane. Andy Kane! They tried to get their pass away. They tried to get their pass away. And not a great opportunity for Rovers there. Just a loose pass at the end. Joe, what a fantastic attack.
Agonisingly close. Beautiful attacking play from the Rovers. So many support runners. This is so uncharacteristic of the Rovers. We've not normally got that many men in support, but everybody's wanting the ball at the moment. And now we're pinning Halifax back. We're in the ascendancy here. Anyone would think that we were chasing the game the way we're going at it currently.
Rovers really in the moment, do look so in the mood at the minute. They are in fantastic form, playing really well at the moment, Rovers. And that's a tasty little kick which Gareth Moore does well to take. And Rovers will start this set on halfway. It was a good attempt at a different kick from Halifax. Having to try different things obviously, but again Rovers alive to that one, and here's Will Sharp on the 40 now. Keegan Hurst. That ball has come loose, that's a knock on. So Rovers lose possession 35 metres out from the Halifax line. That'll be a scrum down head and feet to Fax. Mistakes creeping in, Joe?
Well, you look at the conditions out there, it's going to be a wet, slippery ball, and you've played this many minutes already. Mistakes are going to creep in, but mistakes are near what they are for the other side, and we're certainly going at them, and we're forcing the mistakes from them more so. So we can still look to pin them back here. Our defence has been phenomenal all game, and currently we're nilling them, still keeping them out of that bonus point range, which is essential. It means effectively Rovers could lose the game and get a bonus point and still finish top of the table due to our superior points difference. Halifax now bringing it wide, but the defence is right up on them again with fantastic line speed there. Good tackling from Matt James and Gareth Moore.
Indeed it was, and Halifax ringing the changes as Andy Braycheck has gone on and Callum Casey has come on now. So all 4 Halifax changes have been made. Rovers leading by 20 points to 0 at the minute. The ball is moved out to the left, it's a dink over the top by Morrell. Once again Will Sharp's positioning for that is perfect. But that's a better chase for Halifax, pinning Will Sharp back on that occasion. As Ben Blackmore now gets Rovers out of the 20. As Luke Teasdale is making an entrance for Rovers. as Andy Ellis is coming off. And Jack Bussey is also coming on. Back on for Rovers in place of James Lockwood. Rovers there have lost possession again. I think it was Ben Blackmore who lost possession on that occasion. So Luke Teasdale is going to go in at hooker, Joe.
Luke Teasdale in at hooker. We've seen him already this season. He's looked like an exciting prospect. Can he show in this big game his true ability? Can he have that burst of pace? Can he put in that killer pass? Can he do something special for us today? He's having to fill the shoes of Andy Ellis. Are there any bigger shoes in this side to fill? I don't know. But Halifax are bringing it wide again here and gaining no metres despite everything they try.
Indeed they are. They're good passing male, but only lateral passing there. And here come Halifax. On the 20, that's a great ball away. And Halifax the first chance to really attack. Here come Halifax attacking down the left. 5 minutes left to half time. Halifax will be looking for a score here. Rovers will want to keep it to 1-0. Mano, great defence again by Rovers. He's held up, is he? The ball's come loose. Rovers have got possession back. Matt James is taking a breather before he played that ball there. Luke Teasdale takes that ball himself, makes a good 10 metres, Teasdale there. Crooks to Worthington. It's got Blackmore. Blackmore trying to get away, still going Blackmore. Gets the pass away to Sharp. Will Sharp cuts inside, then goes forward. Will Sharp still going. Rovers, this is great stuff from Rovers. Here's Steve Crossley now, another 40-minute stint for Steve Crossley. Teasdale finds Keegan Hurst. Gets Rovers inside that 40. Here's Moore. Moore kicks for the corner. That'll do very nicely, thank you. A great set by Rovers in Luke Teasdale, looking good at in half-back, Joe.
Yeah, looking effective. He's rising to the occasion, definitely. And Gareth Moore taking the smart option there, putting it out, putting Halifax deep on their line again. They're struggling to make metres with our line speed today. And so it's an effective option without a doubt.
Certainly is, and Rovers have got so many players impressing all across the park. I don't envy you your job in the second half, picking the man of the match. Here come Halifax though. The ball is worked out to that left hand side. Devorti almost away, but Rovers hang on by shirt tails and a penalty is given. Halifax getting on with it quickly. Halifax looking for a score before half time. Tommy Saxton does what Rovers have seen him do so over the years. Takes the tap and makes about 10 metres. Through the hands it goes now. Mennell drops that pass inside to Callum Casey. Mennell again takes on that line, finds Morrell. Morrell, Fieldhouse, that's forward a mile. You could probably take your pick between a forward pass or a pass into touch. Either way, it doesn't make a difference. The ball has gone dead. The scrum down will be head and feet to Rovers.
Desperation setting in once again here for Halifax. They're struggling to cope with Rovers' line speed. They're not making metres, so they're having to try things, and as of yet, they're not coming off. Who knows? They could do in the second half, and they could get back into this game. Stand, it's not working out. Ben Johnston's trying to make things happen, but it's very hard when the support runners are just so demoralised as they appear to be for Halifax at the moment.
Sure, Carl Harrison at half time. We'll ask you in a minute what you say. Well, here come Rovers. It's Will Sharp. As Teasdale waits, he tapped in half back. Drops the ball off to Crossley. Here's Matt James now. Almost away, Matt James gets Rovers up to halfway. Teasdale sees a gap and tries to go himself. Makes a good 89 metres there, Luke Teasdale. That's a good run. Bussey attacking half-back. Moore again. He's just done exactly what I did last time. That's all Rovers need to do. There's minutes left to half-time. We're in surely not far off half-time now. Rovers, all they need to do is play the sets out, run the clock down. Luke Teasdale again effective at acting half-back. And so the scrum goes down. If you're Andy Hay at half-time, what do you say, Joe?
Well, you have more to say, in particular as we did early on. A lot of people early in the week, they've been talking about Jamie Rooney, saying that he adds experience to the sides and whether we'd lack him this week. But look at Gaz Moore, the way he's playing today. He's running the show. He looks in control of this game. Looks like he's been playing for 20 years, yet he's got the speed of a 19-year-old as he's blitzing about the park. Taking the kick there, putting it out, such a wise option. Halifax there with men outside, but not putting it out wide.
Indeed, a not good break there, a good mini break there from Halifax. So we move now into injury time at the end of the first half. Here's Luke Ambler. So kick over the top by Morrell. Is that a 40-20? It is a 40-20. Halifax will have one last chance as we move into injury time. They want that scrum packing down, the clock stopped. The first real spark from Halifax of something. They've got one play for Halifax to make a difference. And here it is, Morrell with a kick through. And Rovers alert, Will Sharps alert. That's it. That's going to be half time. We may see the dropout, we may not, I'm not sure. The clock has been stopped again. We are going to see the dropout. Whether we'll see anybody run that ball in, I don't know. Rovers fans in fine voice away to our right. The dropout's taken. We are going to see one drive. One play. There goes the half-time hooter here at the Shea Stadium for what I can only describe as the performance of the season so far away from home. A superb first half for Rovers. Started off as early as the 3rd minute with a try from Jason Crooks, which Gareth Moore could not convert. He went over again for his second 10 minutes later. Again, that wasn't converted. Sean Peake then got in the act for his first try of the season. Gareth Moore converted that one to make it 14-0. Jason Crooks went over after 21 minutes. Again converted by Gareth Moore. That made it 20 points to 0. Since then, Halifax have tightened up the defence. They've been a lot better on defence in the second quarter of that match. But Rovers, it has to be said, are well and truly in control here at the Shea Stadium. Joe, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, a phenomenal first half, wasn't it, really? Yeah, looks like the performance of the season from my point of view, definitely. We ran it in so hard early on and we had men outside. Jason Crooks going over for his hat-trick. Everyone a brilliant finish. Will Sharps in at fullback. He's coming round on the outside. His returns of the kicks are brilliant, and I think that's a huge difference. That, in direct contrast to last week, Rovers are dominating the territory over their opposition today. Halifax is supposed to be one of their toughest opponents in the league, and they're not making them look like that, but they're not giving them a chance, really. The halfbacks, they're running the show well, and it's just brilliant. I want more of the same. I want the half-time to be over now.
From Halifax's point of view, surely if you're Carl Harrison, you've just got to go in there and say, right, it's 0-0, start again. What do you think?
It's 0-0, start again, but they need to get on with it, to be honest. They're trailing by 20 points. The least they need is a bonus point, but this is an all or nothing game in all honesty, and they need to win this, so they need to go out. They need to start with something that they didn't show in any periods of the first half. They need to run it in harder. Also, I was noticing that they were trying some clever kicks rather than putting the distance on it and trying to pin us back, which when they did it on a couple of occasions they've caused us to kick from deep, and they got a better return, and we're starting on their 30. Still starting on their 30, they're not making any meters in attack because the Rovers' line speed is just out of this world.
It certainly is an outstanding first half performance from Rovers. It's half time here at the Shea Stadium in Halifax. More of the same in the second half, please. Halifax 0, Featherstone Rovers 20. Welcome back to the second half here at the Halifax Stadium, the Shea Stadium. Rovers with what can only be described as a perfect first half. Got Joe Sassel alongside me, he's waiting for the two teams to come out. Joe, your standout players in the first half?
Standout players in the first half, it's so hard to pick. I thought all the forwards were phenomenal, particularly Steve Crossley, who I believe played the full 40 minutes, but looked like he was in his first when it came to the last. On the fringes, of course, you can't take anything away from Jason Crooks. He was phenomenal, and I'd like to pay credit to Ian Hardman for his tip onto him for one of the tries as well. Will Sharp in at fullback as well. What a performance from him. He looks like he's been playing there all his life. He doesn't look like a regular on the wing. When he comes round the outside, he's so comfortable, and he does add some fluidity to the attack without a doubt. When he brings it forward from the kick, I think that's been quite an asset because he brings it up at such pace and we gain so much ground through that.
We're certainly doing. The forwards have been outstanding as well. Special mention for Sean Pitt with his first senior try for Rovers.
Sean Pitt really epitomises this performance, doesn't he? Because this performance has been all about enthusiasm. We're running around like a bunch of 9-year-olds there, all wanting the ball, all wanting to chase up, all wanting to make tackles. And there's cheers now as the players enter the field, but you look at the Halifax body language, and do they look up for it? I don't know.
I don't think they do, not by the body language of the players on the field. The heads are down, the body language is all wrong. And wait till you see the body language of the Rovers when they come out. Rovers are playing to both teams playing towards their own sets of fans now. Tommy Saxton stood with his hands on his hips. Don't think he can quite believe what's going on. And just talking to one or two of the speckies at half time, I think for a couple of them the key word has been enthusiasm.
Yeah, the key word has been enthusiasm. Halifax, because we battered them early doors like we did against Batley a couple of games ago, they've been demoralised throughout the rest of the half and unable to come up with something to get through the Rovers. You know, the Rovers here, they're making them wait, they're making them think about the gauntlet that's been thrown out to. What do you do as a Halifax player right now? I really don't know.
And here come, out for the second half, your very own Featherstone Rovers. The body language, it has to be said, Joe, is totally different. Rovers players look fit, they look eager to get on. They look eager to pick up where they left off. Defensively in the first half, that's the best I've seen Rovers. And going forward again, absolutely superb. Running the angles, causing problems with virtually every set they've had, Joe.
Causing problems with every set, because if you start like that on your first one, it's going to be the same throughout the rest of the game. You know, we're charging up on them. Everyone's calling for the ball as well. You know, Will Sharp took about 3 drives in one of the sets because he was calling for the ball every single time, trying to fight his way past others to get it. Luke Teasdale there, just a young lad, in his first game for quite some time for the Rovers, strutting out onto the field.
Without a care in the world. Rovers look so relaxed at the minute. And here's Will Sharp. Rovers in control of the first set of this second half. Teasdale finds Matt James now. Knocks a player over as he runs that ball in. It was Tommy Saxton, he knocked over actually. Here's Teasdale again, acting half-back, finds Steve Crossley. Played a full 40 minutes once again in the first half, Steve Crossley. Been a regular feature this season in playing full 40. And here's Moore with a kick. That's a high kick this time. It's easily enough taken though by Fieldhouse. And he runs that ball in with a bit of enthusiasm. That's a better return for Halifax. Good first set for Rovers. Here's Tommy Saxton now. Looking for work as Tommy Saxton always does, and here comes Luke Ambler. And Halifax attacking on halfway now. That's the 4th tackle, says the referee. Through the hands it goes, and that's the last tackle. Halifax. It is a knock-on. Rovers appealing for a knock-on in the tackle. 4 players around. All looked at the referee and said it's been knocked on. All looked at the touch judge, said I say. The referee looked at the touch judge and he signalled a knock-on. So a disappointing end to that set for Halifax.
Disappointing end to the set for Halifax as they brought upfield much better in that start of in the start of this half. You know, gaining good yards. Rovers defence not quite up on them the same as they have been throughout the first half. But you know, you go and get determined drives. We said they'd come back into this game and there'd be a storm that this Featherstone side would have to weather. Can we do it? Yes, we can by the looks of it.
Certainly can, and here are Rovers attacking in the Halifax 40 now. Early doors in this second half. That ball's come loose and the referee said that's a knock-on. I'm not quite sure about that one. It was Jack Bussey. A groan from behind me from a cameraman suggests that might not have been, or suggests that he thought it might have been stolen. Looks like it was ripped, but the referee said it was a knock-on, so Halifax in possession now. So mistakes on both sides at the start of the second half. Rovers line speed again, very good. As Halifax move that ball across and get just inside the Rovers half now. Halifax trying to work the ball, but again Rovers defence superb and pushing Halifax back as well. That's Jack Spencer on halfway. Here come Halifax. That's better play, a good half break. And that's an interesting kick, it's a great kick. And Will Sharp able to cover. I fancy that Mr Stokes may have inadvertently helped Featherstone Rovers there. He got in front of one of the chasers, blocked him off. I don't think he meant to do it, but it looked to me as if George Stokes, the referee, may have inadvertently blocked one of the Halifax chasers. Nevertheless though, Rovers have come up with the ball again now. And this Halifax, that's better defence from Halifax. Andy Kane, here's Sean Pick. It's a kick from Moore. It's a disappointing kick from Moore. And it's a great good return by Fieldhouse, and Halifax are starting 5 metres short of halfway now. Tommy Saxton gets Halifax back in the Rovers half. Mennell drops that ball off. And Luke Ambler. Here goes Scott Morrell. Well wrapped up though by Hardman and Pick. Ambler again gets that pass away. Halifax is searching. Halifax, another try-saving tackle of all people by Keegan Hurst. That's a better set for Halifax, and can Gaz Moore get out? No, he can't. Oh, and it started off Something started there, I don't know what it is. Gareth Moore didn't like something. And the only player who's not in attendance in that end goal area, who stood about 40 metres away, is Tommy Saxton. I didn't see what happened in the tackle. Gareth Moore took exception to something. It is going to be a dropout, Joe.
Yeah, I don't think Gareth Moore was amused there when the tackle carried on after it had been taken out of the dead goal line. Didn't see exactly what aggravated him, but certainly was displeased and lashed out at the opposing man. What was done to provoke it, I'm not sure, but surely you just release the man after you've taken them over the dead ball.
Possibly you do. Referee is calling out Ian Hardman. I fancy this is going to go on report. Ian Hardman, of course, captain for the day for Rovers, in the absence of Tim Spears, who we are hoping to see back next week. It is just a warning for Gareth Moore, and also a warning there for Ian Hardman as well. And it's Will Sharp who takes the dropout. Gets it up to halfway, taken by Fieldhouse, and here come Halifax again now. Will Sharp taking the dropout, being the fullback. And Halifax now. We're in for a cracker of a second half, folks. We're going to see the Andy Bostock on in a minute. That's just an introduction you need in this sort of game. Be interesting to see who comes off. And it is a penalty for Halifax. Holding down in the tackle. And here come Halifax now, it's Spencer. Rovers waiting for this set to be completed before the change is made. Halifax fans behind the sticks there appealing for something in the tackle. And again the mistake from Halifax. But the referee has said it was a pass from Steve Tyra. The referee has said that the Rovers' hand in there. So it's given head and feet in this scrum to Halifax. Rovers still hanging on to make the change. It's going to be Bostock and Lockwood who come on. How's Rovers' defence on this set then? Tommy Saxton. And Tony Tonks comes back on and Jack Spencer goes back off. A good stint for Jack Spencer. Here are Halifax attacking this line now. Morrell drops the ball off to Devote. That's gone forward and Halifax got possession up. And we're now going to see a double change for Rovers. Steve Crossley has probably done a 50-minute stint, has finally come off. And off comes Keegan Hurst. And on comes James Lockwood and Andy Bostock. And here is Bostock's first drive. Makes 3 metres with 2 players on his back. Teasdale finds Lockwood again now. In that left channel that he runs so well. Teasdale. Here's Bussey.
Substitution for Featherstone, number 11, James Lockwood, and number 16, Andy Bostock.
Teasdale moves the ball out to the left to Greg Worthington.
And number 10, Keegan Hurst.
Here's Moore. It's a high kick from Gareth Moore. How's the chase? It's easily enough taken by Fieldhouse. And it is a good chase from Rovers. Led by Gareth Moore, making the rest of his teammates on side. And Halifax again starting from inside their own 20-metre line. Here's Tony Tonks. This works through the hands. It's an early kick from Halifax. They've gone for the 40-20, but the ball didn't have the angle on it. And it stops dead, allowing Will Sharp to pick up. And a good chase too by Halifax. Rovers looking a bit disjointed there. Crooks and Blackmore. Rovers playing the ball with nobody behind. Here goes Teasdale. Shrugs one off. This game could easily boil over, folks. Here goes Crooks. Already got a hat-trick today. Finds Ian Hardman. Hardman brings that ball back in. Has to be said, in this second half, Joe, much better defence from Halifax.
Much better defence from Halifax, yeah. They're looking more spirited, but Rovers are struggling to break out with their kicks not coming off so well. Going into the wind, they're struggling. That pass appeared to go fine. A good offload there from Crooks as Andy Kane brings it out down the right side here. Plenty of afters there in that tackle. Not sure what all that's about. Not necessarily sure.
Indeed, there was afters in that tackle. Rovers though attacking in the Halifax 20. Now it's Worthington. A great break it was from Rovers from end to end. The referee has said, I think that's the last tackle, and that is the turnover. So a disappointing end to that set for Rovers. But Rovers have got Halifax where they need them. Penn back in their own 20. And Halifax will have to work the full length of their field again. It is Luke Adamson in possession. As Andy Braycheck comes on for Ambler, Halifax are away. It's Steve Tyrer. Steve Tyrer, a great break down their left wing, but Will Sharp as your fullback. A superb fullback's tackle. And Halifax looking dangerous. Ross Devote's kick. Hardman just knocks it dead. A great break down this left-hand side for Halifax. And once again, Rovers' defence is up to the task, Joe.
Fantastic break from Halifax there, yeah, fooling the Rovers' defence down this right side. Tyra making his way through, and Will Sharp though being up to the task there at fullback, covering well and getting across. They then bring it in, and now they're forced to drop out, so they've got yet another set here on this Rovers line. Still, we're holding out well though, we're keeping them out in this half. Despite a lot of pressure from Halifax, they're yet to find their way over.
Simon Brown, sponsored by Harry Sabat, replacing number 16, Danny Cowley, sponsored by the Golden Fleecing Bradshaw.
And here come Halifax now then. Morrell. Through the hands it goes. Here's Devote with a pass away to little Ben Johnston. Is certainly a danger man. Fieldhouse in half-back. Through the hands it goes. Simon Brown. Tommy Saxton. He'd love a try today. Rovers have come up with possession again though. Halifax trying to force the tackle. Trying to force the pass, and Will Sharp runs that ball back superbly again. Another great defensive set for Rovers.
Great defensive set there, and Andy Kane's able to come up with the ball. Will Sharp though, what an effort from him today. How much of the ball has he taken? How many great tackles has he made when they've been able to break through the line? And how many good returns has he made as well? He's been very effective today. He looks like he's been playing fullback all his life, not just the old Billy.
It certainly doesn't. It certainly gives Andy Hay a bit of a headache looking at next week for the Sheffield game and for the Keighley game. Here's Moore though with a kick over the top. That's well fielded by Halifax. And here's the return. As Halifax now attack down this left-hand side, it's Tommy Saxton. Looks to have switched in the centres to me with Steve Tyrer. And Ross Devote gets the pass away to Mennell. Mennell goes for a gap. But good tackle there by Andy Bostock. Halifax on the Rovers 40 now. Brown. That was a loose pass for Brown, it's well taken by Ben Johnston. Devorty finds Brown again. Tony Tonks. Halifax are passing well, but it's all lateral going from one side of the field to the other. No go forward. Here's a kick from Brown. That is a good kick. Andy Kane not interested. It lets the ball bounce dead and it goes dead in goal. Just coming up to 15 minutes gone in the second half. We're still in a war of attrition. Rovers have lost that ball. So once again, Rovers have a chance to see how good the defence is, and Halifax have a chance to try and breach this Rovers defence, which so far this afternoon, it has to be said, have been absolutely outstanding. Callum Casey plays the ball to Mennell. Here's Brown, drops that ball off to Devorty. Rovers don't want anything on the score sheet against them today. Mennell, Brown again. Here's Morrell. Through the hands it goes. Fieldhouse, that's worked out wide. Fieldhouse again. Gets away from James, it's Fieldhouse. Held up 4 metres short, Ryan Fieldhouse. Mennell tried to go from dummy half. Again, good defence from Rovers. Through the hands it goes. Braycheck to Tony Tonks. Looked for the offload, but it was well closed down by Andy Bostock. Tonks plays the ball to nobody. That is poor from Halifax. A kick over top, and Jason Crooks defuses the bomb. I have to say, Joe, Halifax there looking disarray. A play the ball by Tony Tonks to nobody.
Yeah, just the lack of organisation from Halifax, really. They're lacking ideas. Featherstone are holding out sublimely here, and they just can't find a way through. They're trying everything. They've gone with loads of different options, as we now see Matt James leaves the field and Andy Ellis enters the field. We know he can make us tick as he did in the first half, and he'll cause problems for this Halifax defence. Allow us to break into that half more, as we've not quite had the territory we did in the first period.
No, but here's Andy Bostock away. Andy Bostock's away. It's an intercept. It's an intercept for Fieldhouse. Well closed down by Gareth Moore. Oh, a chance for Rovers at one end. It's Tommy Saxton. Saxton's got the pass outside. And Halifax have finally breached the Featherstone Rovers line. It all came from a mistake from Andy Bostock. He made the break. He tried to get the pass inside, but the intercept from Ryan Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse with the break. Couple of plays later, the ball finds its way to Ben Johnston, who manages to get over the line. Rovers have held out for 57 minutes. Halifax are finally over the line. Halifax 4, Featherstone Rovers 20.
Well, they've been pressing in that half all the way through this second period. They've been unable to find their way over, unable to develop a gap in the Rovers line. But sure enough, as soon as we start to go up their end of the field, they come back with the ball, and with the open space they're able to find their way over. Who else though to provide the try assist than Tommy Saxton? He's been a brilliant servant of the Rovers club over the years, and there we saw his ability on display again as he sent over Ben Johnston for the try. Halifax now back in this game. Is it too little too late? Over 20 minutes to go. Still in this.
Indeed, here's Tyler's conversion. He's missed it. Steve Tyler usually is very, very reliable with the boots. Luckily for Rovers on that occasion, the ball did not go between the uprights. So with 22 minutes left on the clock, Halifax 4, Featherstone Rovers 20. Rovers just need to keep the defensive shape as they have, Joe, now. They're still in control of this game, and it's only from a mistake from Rovers that Halifax have got over.
Yeah, if we keep the defensive shape we've had, I don't think they'll be able to find their way through. They've been struggling to find their way through all game, not been able to develop a gap, as we were saying, but only when the space was there from the break, and it kicks off again. Someone needs to get control of this game. It's all going a bit mad and people are piling in again, but no, Tommy Saxton's just stood there on his wing speaking to Steve Tyrer because he never runs across to get involved. It'd be too much effort.
I know Luke Teasdale did appear to go into that tackle late, and Halifax players pointing at certain players. I think they're directing where they want to go and picking out the men who were involved in that. Andy Bostock's being spoken to by Mr. Stokes. Again, no action taken though, except for a penalty to Halifax, and the referee is now speaking to the Halifax players as well. So Morrell takes that penalty and finds touch as the rain comes down again here at the Strait Stadium. And here come Halifax now, it's Tony Tonks. Rovers could do with the net score just to take the sting out of this Halifax side in this second half. Because they do look a lot livelier in the second half. That's a mini break from Tyra. Here's Morrell now. Braycheck. Plays the ball to Mennell. Brown. Through the hands it goes again. Halifax now on the Rovers 30. Here's Brown again, Morrell, sorry, to Brown now. Shows it once and gets the pass away to Fieldhouse, which is only just taken. The pass looked behind him, but he managed to reel the pass in. Here's Brown with another kick over the top. That's easy for Shah, who gets away from 1, 2. He's well wrapped up by 3. I have to say, we mentioned it just at the start of the second half. Will Sharp looks like fullback. It's been his natural position. Not looked out of place at all for Rovers. Ellis now. Here's Chris Anakin back on for Rovers. But no, it's not Anakin, sorry. It was Teasdale. Ellis now though. That's a poor pass to Lockwood on the bounce. I fancy it slipped out of his fingers a bit. Moore ducks under 2, looks at the referee, says, was that high, Mr. Referee? He says no. Here's Andy Kane though. Kane with a kick for Ellis. Is it still on? This game is stretching out a bit now, Joe. Seeing the gaps in play starting to open up a bit more now.
Gaps in play coming into the second half. It's been non-stop from both sides really, so teams are going to start to tire. There's going to be gaps develop, but we just need to keep up this defensive effort that we've been showing so far. And that's a fantastic tackle, but I think a penalty's got to be awarded for it. Looks to be around the chest to me, but that's just my opinion, and I am a Fev fan.
Referee saying it was around the chest, but that the arm went up, so that's why he's given the penalty. And Halifax then back in the Rovers half. Rovers taking the time clearing the field, not surprisingly, as Halifax make another change. Andy Hayes just in discussion with one of the officials. Ben Kay is back on.
Substitution Halifax, number 9, Ben Kay, sponsored by Richard and Julie Hamilton. Replace number 14, Paul Mennell, sponsored by Art Pallets.
So Ben Kay returns for Paul Mennell now. And it's another penalty. And we're going to see the return for Rovers of Chris Anakin. Rovers having a player pulled out again. I think it's Jack Bussey. Rovers need to regain the discipline. Penalties starting to creep in against them, Joe.
Yeah, as we see the discipline yet again not quite being there. And so far, our goal line defence has been able to save us in this half. As the incident's been put on report there. We can't afford to lose any players through suspension with the injury troubles we already have in the squad. We see Anakin is going to enter the field now, and there'll be more impetus added to the attack, but right now we need to hold out here as we get the ball back again though, and we have the opportunity to break out.
Indeed, a knock on from Halifax in that set there, so a relieving knock on for Rovers. And here comes the change. Chris Anakin returns, and it's Luke Teasdale who comes off. A great stint from Luke Teasdale, Joe.
Yeah, great stint for a young and lesser experienced of our players. Luke Teasdale looked like he'd been playing all season long. Came in, it was a tight situation. Hang on, what's going on here at the scrum? Come on, lads. You've been doing scrum since you first started playing rugby, and yet you're in trouble packing down here, speaking to the players. Tony Tonks being involved. Well, we could all see that, couldn't we? We're okay though. We're miles ahead here. We can let them prat about at the scrum. We've got plenty of time. Time's on our side. Easing on the side of Halifax though, as they charge up in the defence there, looking to pin us back now.
Indeed they do. Time is on our side. Rovers in attack on that left hand side. Just need to see the sets out. As we're inside the last 15 minutes here at the Shea Stadium. Rovers haven't scored since the 21st minute, but they won't care because they did score 4 tries in that first 20 minutes. Here goes Will Sharp now. He has been outstanding this afternoon as Will Sharp, and is able to get the pass to Lockwood, who passes to Bostock. So Rovers in that Halifax half now. So kick from Andy Kane, that's off Halifax. Was it played? The referee's going to give the scrum to Halifax. On the word of the touch judge, that call came from the touch. That call came from the touch judge on this side. I saw the touch judge straight away signal, and it was a Halifax head and feed. Rovers, though, it doesn't matter. Rovers just need to keep the composure. We are in front, and at the minute Halifax don't have a bonus point, Joe.
No, they don't, and like we say, that could be vital. It gives us a cushion of protection that if there's a minor slip up in one of the remaining games, we're against difficult opponents. Let's not forget Sheffield and Keighley both fighting for a playoff spot and fighting to evade relegation. But Keighley, they've made us Lee struggle earlier in the season, and we've struggled against Sheffield over the years. They've often been a bogey side. Blackmore now bringing it back upfield. A great return here from Ben Blackmore.
A fantastic return. That was a 40-20 attempt, and I have to say I thought he had kicked the 40-20, but it just stayed in the field of play. And a 20-metre return from Ben Blackmore, and there's a penalty there for a high tackle on Chris Anakin. So Rovers will be able to get field position for another assault on the Halifax line now. And Gareth Moore finds touch, and Rovers will start on the Halifax 30 now. Here is Moore, shows it and then goes himself. It's taking a minute to get up, Gareth Moore. I don't know if that's a touch of cramp or not. Able to play the ball. I think it is just a touch of cramp. Looks okay now. He's wanting to get involved. Bostock 2 more to Andy Kane. Trying to do what Andy Kane does best and duck under that tackle. Will Sharp goes from acting half-back now. We're seeing Will Sharp has been absolutely awesome. I think he's done just about everything a player can do on a rugby field today. Andy Kane shows it twice, finds Moore. Moore with a long pass to Worthington. Well wrapped up though by Halifax on that occasion. There goes Blackmore for the corner. Got Worthington. No, he's held up. Held up on the last tackle. And we have a player down for Halifax, do we? Yes, we do. Luke Adamson is down and has stayed down. The referee happy enough to let play go on though. And Luke Adamson looks to be in a lot of trouble there. Looks like his knee. And here come Halifax then, trying to work out from their own 20, trying to move the ball out wide. And it's going to be a change here for Halifax. Halifax player who was injured is not able to return. So we're going to see the reintroduction of Danny Cowling. And here's Gareth Moore from that kick now. And Rovers start off in the Halifax half. Surely that's got to be a penalty. It has. Interference at the play of the ball. As Jack Bussey has returned for Andy Bostock. Crossley, sorry. Steve Crossley returns to the pitch. He's had a short breather, he's okay now. Here's Lockwood. Rovers are in the Halifax 10-metre area again now. Another try would kill this game off, you fancy. Moore to Sean Pick. With the offload back to Moore. Moore for the gap. I thought he was through a gap. It was only just closed. Andy Ellis goes himself. And now Steve Crossley's in acting half-back. I like it when that happens. He gets the pass away to Anakin. Ellis to Moore now. Andy Kane to Will Sharp. That's the last tackle now. A better defensive set for Halifax. Here's Kane now. Kane with a kick for the corner. That's well taken by Halifax. Can Rovers pen him back? No, says the referee. The Rovers fans behind the uprights said yes. The referee said he was on his own line. But Rovers so far, Halifax 2 tackles in and have only made about 5 metres. This is a better defensive set for Rovers. Will Sharp has dropped back. And it's an early kick. Halifax desperate to clear the lines, kicking on the third tackle. Will Sharp has 20 metres to run back into. Beats 2 men and almost away from a third. Andy Kane now. It's Greg Worthington. Rovers are making the yards on these plays. Ellis from acting half-back finds Crooks. Well wrapped up on that occasion. Moore sees a gap and goes for it. He's an elusive player, is Gareth Moore, and he is in the mood. Ellis. Kane again drops the pass off. Kane with a kick through. Taken well by Fieldhouse, good positioning. And just manages to stay in the field of play. As we approach the last 5 minutes, Rovers strong defensively at the minute. Halifax having to try new things, passing the ball along the line where they normally probably wouldn't do. Joe, there's been a lot of outstanding performances on this match this afternoon from the Rovers team. Question now for you is, and we'll just pause for this attack, as Halifax attack down the left, it's Steve Tyler again. It's once again stopped. A forward pass. The referee has called a forward pass and given Rovers head and feet at the scrum. Joe, we've got a break in play. There have been a lot of outstanding performances for Rovers today. Will Sharp at fullback, Jason Crooks on the wing. Your man of the match time.
Well, it's hard to split the pack really, isn't it? They really hammered into the Halifax side early in the 20 minutes. I think that was a deciding factor. Sean Pick and Steve Crossley particularly enthusiastic. Sean Pick not coming off all game. And, Steve Crossley playing the entire first half out at prop. Andy Kane's down here in the corner. We hope that's not too serious. Gareth Mordo, a lot of questions have been asked as Jamie Rooney's been unavailable this week, and therefore would he have the experience for a big game like today? He's shown today in the way he's controlled the play. It's been brilliant for me. Andy Ellis good as usual, but it has to be, even though Ben Crooks got that, Jason Crooks got that hat trick, and with some sublime finishes. Will Sharp, his returning of kicks, he wants every single ball. Yeah, Will Sharp to me, he's been brilliant.
So Will Sharp named as man of the match. There's now 6 minutes left on the clock. Rovers have turned possession over, and here come Halifax again. It's Tommy Saxton. Well wrapped up by 3 though. Ben Kay from that's in halfback finds Morel. Through the hands it goes. On that right hand side now, Halifax trying to get through the Rovers line. Just unable to do so again. Good defence. Rovers defensively today have been absolutely superb. Halifax have struggled every time to get the ball to break the line, and there is that man of the match himself. Absolutely outstanding from Will Sharp. Just left the chasing winger for dead. And here are Rovers now. It's Blackmore. Just hold the ball, Rovers. That's it. We're into the last 5 minutes.
Official attendance here at the Shea Stadium is 3,022.
3,022 here at the Shea Stadium. I've witnessed an absolute war of attrition, it has to be said.
Also a big thank you to our match sponsors today, HX2 Maintenance,
Ellis finds Andy Kane now.
Merchants, PRO and Bins Property Rentals.
Ellis. Here's Kane again.
Today's Hitman Award, sponsored by Halifax Players Association.
It's a kick from Andy Hayne. It's Ryan. Here's Ryan Fieldhouse. And Halifax have just announced their Hitman Award. I guess that's a code word for. And their Man of the Match award is Scott Morrell. Not quite sure what they mean by a hitman, but oh well. Unless that's the most tackles in the game, I don't know. That's better from Halifax. Are away. Halifax are away. It's away from Will Sharp as well. It's a kick for the corner. It was a good break. I think again it was Luke Ambler. Couldn't see from here. Whoever it was that made the break, it was a good break. Good tackling back again from Will Sharp. Good scrambling defence from Rovers. The dropout has been forced. Joe?
Good scrambling defence from Rovers. They really epitomises the way we've been all game. Such a great effort, everyone wanting to track back despite the number of supporting runners Halifax had. we were able to get men down, we were able to snuff out the chance. Yes, we got a drop out here, which is going to be taken by that man, Wilshire. His kick returns, they've been like an art form today. His drop out, maybe not so much.
No, Wilshire being at full back, taking the drop out, allowing the defensive line to move up whilst he stays deeper. Here come Halifax now though, on that right hand side, trying to work through again. That's a pass to nobody though. It's a kick through though. Jason Crooks, that's good defence. He doesn't need to do anything else than that, he just ran the ball out. That's alright, it gives Halifax head and feed. He's aware that time's running out. Scott Morrell telling his team players to get in the scrum to stop the clock. The referee can't stop the clock until one of the teams has a scrum pat down. On my watch, we're out of time. I think we've probably got a couple of minutes left. 3 minutes left on the clock. Here's Morrell now. Fieldhouse gets the pass away on that far side to Potts. Ambler almost away, but well wrapped up by Crossley. Halifax 5 metres away, centre field. Brown, Fieldhouse. He's well wrapped up there by Ian Hardman and Sean Pick. Andy Ellis in attendance as well. Brown again, finds Morrell. Morrell gets away from Lockwood. The ball's worked out to that right hand side now. And it's Danny Cowling. Morrell's dropped it. I think Morrell was setting up for the scrum, for the kick. He lost possession, the ball went to ground. We're into the last 90 seconds here at the Shea Stadium. This will be scrum down, head and feet to Rovers. They won't be in any rush. And I fancy now all we're going to see, as we saw in the first half from Rovers, run the clock down, kick for the corner, turn Halifax round. Andy Hale will be a very, very proud coach down there on the touchline today. Here's Ian Hardman now. Rovers don't need anything too fancy now, as the Halifax fans starting to leave the ground, and the Rovers fans staying in their own way are saying goodbye to them. Andy Ellis, from acting half-back, makes 10 metres with a player on his back, plays the ball to Jason Crooks, who spins away from one. He gets away from a Luke Amber first time, but not the second. Rovers 5 metres short of halfway. Moore. Lockwood. Moore again. I said it earlier on, they've done it. A straightforward set, kick for the corner. And that is going to be that, folks. The timekeeper side of me says that's time up. We might see one play, if that. The last play of the match. Wait to hear the roars. Wait till you hear the roars away to our right as that scrum goes down. It started off well for Rovers as early as the 3rd minute, with Jason Crooks going over in the corner. He followed it up 10 minutes later with his second, before 3 minutes later Sean Pick went over, converted by Moore. Then Jason Crooks went over for his hat-trick try after 21 minutes, as he were until half-time. The only score in the second half came to Halifax for a try for Ben Johnston. Rovers defensively outstanding is the only word I can use. A superb second half performance. Rovers come out on top. Rovers regained second spot. Joe, your thoughts on today's match?
Well, it was a perfect performance, wasn't it, really? We went out in that first 10 minutes we really hammered them, and Jason Crooks got his hat-trick. Then Sean Pick also adding his first try for the Rovers, and we were able to get a 20-point lead. Then we just kept control of the game, really. We kept dominating the territory. Even when they came back at us in the second half, we held out with some fantastic goal line defence, and as they came forwards with the ball, they only managed to score on the break, really. So well done to the Rovers. We denied them a bonus point. It means effectively we can afford to slip up in one of our remaining games. It's a nice safety cushion to have.
Certainly is. They don't want to slip up. Rovers want 2 more wins from the last 2 games. 3,022 here at the Shea Stadium. It's finished here. Halifax 4, Featherstone Rovers 20. Mark, Halifax 4, Featherstone 20, a fantastic result for us today.
Oh, definitely. I couldn't have wished for a better result. I never thought in my wildest dreams that we'd be 20-0 up going into the last 20 minutes. But as we've seen over the last few seasons, Halifax have had a knack of coming back at us and pipping us, and so that was always in the back of my mind. But today I thought it was a great performance by the lads from first minute.
An outstanding performance throughout 117, a few standout performers as well. Hat-trick for Jason Crooks and Will Sharp, outstanding as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sharp has been outstanding all year. Crooks is coming and he's just grown on me as Crooks. Every game he just seems to get better. I thought Hardman gave him some lovely ball for 2 of his tries. I thought for me Gazmo was superb. His kicking, just steady head. Just did the right things. I thought he was superb. I thought Crossley had a big game. Bozzy did well when he came on, and you know Andy Ellis like he does every game. But positives for me, Pick looks a great prospect, and Teasdale.
It reminds me a lot of Jamie Peacock when he came up to Featherstone on loan, and about the same age, wasn't he? I mean, Sean Pick looks exactly every bit as good as Jamie did in those days.
Well, if he finishes out anywhere near Jamie Peacock, we'll all be happy.
Have you got a message for the support today? Obviously, the fans have followed Rovers throughout thick and thin this year. It's been a difficult year for the fans, but again, out in numbers today.
Oh, our fans are. I mean, it's a cliche, the best in the world, but there's not many better fans. We've got a fantastic loyal support at Featherstone. Through all the turmoil of this year, they've stuck with the team. They've turned out in numbers, and for me, the performance at Rochdale, which wasn't great, we lost. I thought we played really poorly at Rochdale, but the fans stopped and clapped every player off at the end. And that for me says it all about our support. Absolutely fantastic.
2 massive games left now. Our future, the second spot is back in our hands. Looking forward next week to Sheffield.
Well, it'll be another nervy encounter, I think. Sheffield are always an hard team to beat. They always seem to do well at our place, so we'll have to be at our best to beat them. And I'm looking forward to it. We should get a great crowd. I'm hoping everybody drags everybody down and gets down there early. And we've done some ticket initiatives for the game against Sheffield, so let's hope we can get 4,000 there like we did last season.
Etu Sealy's on loan at Sheffield. Can he play against us?
No, he can't.
Okay, Mark, thanks for your time.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Can I just ask Mark?
Andy, a fantastic result for Rovers today. Your thoughts on the match, please?
Yeah, really good start, and I thought we defended it for our lives and just showed the desperation which needed. You know, it wasn't winner takes all today, but it was certainly a step in the right direction.
It certainly was. You alluded to a great start for Rovers. It's nice for Rovers to get the lead instead of other teams getting lead and us fighting back.
Yeah, we had a real good start. We got the kick-off and applied a lot of pressure, and Halifax defended quite well, but obviously we scored some real good tries out wide, and after the back of that, it put them off their game a little bit, I thought, and then they crept back into the game at the start of the first half, but we just defended really well, and although one interception try. Apart from that, I think our defence was outstanding the whole game.
It certainly was, and some standout performances in the backs as well. Will Sharp and Jason Crooks as well.
Yeah, I thought some real good performances. Obviously Sharpie played really well at full back. Hardo, I thought, played well in the centre again, and then Crooks is scoring 3 tries, which is great for anybody to score 3 in a game. But in the first 15-20 minutes, like he did, it was good for everyone.
Looking ahead to next week, obviously today was billed as a £250,000 game, but it's almost like a series of games. We've got not next week, the week after we've got Sheffield at home.
Yeah, it's in our hands, isn't it? We want to take Sheffield now, and our last home game of the season. So we just want to move forward into Sheffield, and it's second game of the 3-game series, and this means everything today. It was put us out in front. They didn't get a bonus point out of it, and it's in our hands. We want to win it and get a move forward into the playoffs and get some momentum going forward.
Is there any injury news from today's game?
No, not really. So quite impressive to what it's been in the last few weeks. We've got some bumps and bruises in there, but nothing serious.
How important was victory today in the next couple of weeks in terms of getting that second spot and the money for next season?
Well, it means we're still in charge, doesn't it? The victory today means that we're in charge of our own destiny. We can win the next 2 games and finish second. The money's massive. The difference, 250,000, which everybody's been talking about, can make a hell of a lot of difference to what squad we can build for next year.
Finally, Andy, we've not spoken much about this season, but the fans have followed Rovers all over the country throughout what has been a very difficult season for Rovers. Have you got a message for the fans?
I thought the fans were fantastic today. I mean, it was very noisy at Lee last week, and we had a real good support there. There's probably a little bit less noise here this week, and our fans were there singing all the way through, and they really get behind the players, and outstanding again. So home and away, they're always there for us, and we want to play entertaining football and hope they enjoy it.
Andy, thanks very much, and all the best for the rest of the season.
No worries, thank you.
Jason Crooks, a hat-trick today against Halifax, a great result for Rovers.
Yeah, a really good result for us. It's what we need now coming into the playoffs, and that hopefully we'll keep building on this.
12 tries in 9 games for Rovers. You must be pleased with your return since you've come to the club.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed my time here, and if I'm enjoying it, scoring tries, that's what I get paid for, and that's what I've been brought here to do, so it's going well for me. 3
difficult tries that he scored in the corner today. One of them, if there'd been a video ref, I fancy it might have gone to video ref. He had to try.
I don't. It's definitely a try that. No, it wasn't really difficult. Ardo's been really good at centre. He set me up for a few this year, so hopefully I can keep carrying on.
How are you enjoying your time at Rovers since you've come on loan?
Yeah, I really like it. It's been a lot better than I expected, and all lads and that are really good. Andy's done a great job here with what's going on at start season, so it's a really good set of lads. Really good.
Second place is back in our hands again now. We've got 2 massive games coming up against Sheffield and Keighley. You'll be staking your place. I mean, obviously today's staked your place, playing for a place against Sheffield.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get picked next week to play again. I think we've got 2 games left. I think we need to both be good results, so hopefully we'll do it.
Will, great result for Rovers today, man of the match today. Thoughts on the match?
Yeah, it were a tough game. The lads grafted really hard. We enjoyed it. It's good after getting beaten by Lee, like coming here and beating Halifax, who were a good side.
You slotted in at full-back for a lot of that match today. Do you prefer it at full-back?
I play wherever Andy wants me to play. I do enjoy playing full-back. I can get in, but it is a hard work, like compared to playing on wing. So.
Some great play from yourself at full-back, returning the ball well and chipping into the line as well.
Yeah. Well, that's some of the perks of playing at full-back, so that's what I enjoyed about it.
Looking ahead, obviously, today was a massive result in terms of next season as well. Got 2 massive games coming up against Sheffield and Keighley.
Yeah, we're just trying to just tick them off one by one. Sheffield's going to be another tough game, but we've got a nice week off, and then we're all going to be, after this win, we're all going to be raring and ready to go.
You've got a great return for Rovers this season, over 20 tries scored. Has this been your best season for Rovers?
Yeah, well, I've only played 2 seasons. I went well last year. I've been going well this year. I've been enjoying myself playing here.
Great, Will, thanks for your time.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.